Hi, I'm AndreaSturm. Thank you for showing up. Thanks for visiting my art. Thanks for buying some. I appreciate that very much. That was very cool. I sold a piece. I'm like so grateful. So incredibly grateful. Yeah. Oh, wow. What a difference a day or two or 365 or a mind shift, a timeline jump. What a difference a shift of perspective can make. It's about moments, right? It's moment by moment. I know that the time accumulates in this man's reality where they've created timekeeping methods. But if you don't subscribe to that, if you don't buy into that, there are different ways. So you asked about what my routine is. And so I wanted to share that routine, albeit a very loose routine. It should be included in each one of my days. I like activity. It's important to get that activity, right? To move around, to get that blood flowing. So it could be dancing, jumping around, walking funny down the street. Yeah, my neighbors look at me and they're like, there's something wrong with her. Yeah, I don't care what you think. If you think that's what's wrong with me, then, hey, you're right. But it feels good. Like once in a while, I'll walk down the block and stomp my feet. That feels really good. Riding my bike, love riding my bike. Taking the scooter out, like I like doing that. I'm not one for running. I don't see the point of pounding the pavement. Stopping, yeah, that's not consistent. And it lasts for like several minutes. All right, so whatever else. Water. Now, I'm not selling brands, but I am brand. I'm married to my brand. I've been married to it for more than 10 years. A decade with my brand. Water. I try to consume about 8 of them in the course of a day. Typically, I hit about 5. I don't care what anybody tells me. This has worked for me for several decades. Bunches of coffee. Hold on, I haven't had enough. Mm. I drink it like it's water. Hold it. Burp when you want to. Pardon me. Yeah, don't hold in your bodily functions. Don't do that. Well, all right, you do that if you want to. All right, if it makes you feel good. I'm not going to tell you it's good for you, though. All right. I think that if a bodily function wants to come out, we've got to kind of let it out because the body knows. Listen to our body. So what do I do in my routine? I listen to my body. I feel it. I listen to it. I like the way it talks to me. I hear it. I know what it wants, and I give it what it wants. There's a reason it's asking. Even though it can't communicate it to me the way that I'm communicating this, it tells me. Intuitively, I know. Water, coffee, Vega. All right, what is my Vega? It consists of yogurt, juice, whatever juice I might have hanging around. Typically, it happens to be orange juice because that happens to be at the best price point these days. Is that strange to you? I mean, okay, I don't know. Like if you're decades with me on another timeline, coming around the trip again, but rolling around the planet again. Hey, in a new vehicle. Do you like it? I like it. Um, I like it. One of the best I've ever had. Truly. I can talk about that another time, but which is because I give myself peace of mind. And peace of mind comes from addressing the uncomfortable. Because once you've addressed it, it's done. It's old news. You've done it. It's carrying that baggage of the unaddressed that becomes burdensome to me. It doesn't have to be to you. It's to me. Doing what you want with those things that maybe you were told you shouldn't do. So, all right, as a kid, I was very much like I am today. But the adults, they were in a frenzy and they didn't know how to cope. The adults had a problem coping with my light, my authenticity, my truth, my continuous question asking. Um, and it was much easier to stifle me and for them to pound down a beverage of alcoholic choice, smoke a cigarette and forget about me, right? Nice examples. So they didn't want me while they were smoking their cigarettes and boozing it up. They didn't want me letting out my feelings. So they didn't want me coloring on the walls. But you see what's happening here? Yeah, I'm working on, that's a canvas, yeah. I've got my canvas up. Real tight. That's my tree. It's what I remember from childhood in Germany. Some of my favorite things were, well, that's me walking. I haven't finished yet, but we're just, putting the framework so that I don't put too many trees around me. And then I have some sayings here. This one says, I'll read it to you. It says, mind management creates upward mobility. Okay, did you catch that? Mind management creates upward mobility. I'm managing my mind for me. I'm sharing it with you. And if it resonates, if it helps you in some way, then great. But they told me not to color on the walls. And I needed that. I didn't know that I needed a canvas. I was 6 years old. Somebody should have given me a fucking canvas. So I finally gave it to myself. Do you like my canvas? It's on the wall. It makes me so happy. Okay, so there's more words here. Mission-centered focus. Nothing wrong with that. People receiving profits. Okay, so I want a mission-centered focus where people are receiving the profits. Oh my goodness. Whoa. I'm not labeling myself anything because you know what? I'm just me. I'm a person. And I believe that working people should be working for people. Not politicians who were born with silver spoons in their mouth. Don't they have other things to do, like hang out at the golf course? That's boring, isn't it? Yeah, no, I got to live the life of Riley once upon a time. I was bored out of my mind in less than a year. Honestly. Lived at 400 East Randolph here in Chicago. Now, what's unique about that, when I was a little girl and we were coming around the S-curve, I told my mother that I would live in that building one day. She laughed it off, oh, good for you, I was also like 6 or 7 years old and we were coming around the S-curve. The S-curve was different then. They've changed it since, but I said I was going to live in that building, and I did, on the 31st floor with a monster of a man. But I got my 31st floor in a 2-bedroom, 2-bathroom apartment, and I got the health club and the private bus and an allowance. And do you know how bored I was out of my mind? Yeah, girl, you had rich girl life. Yeah, you got to go to have lunch. You got to go shopping. You got to pamper yourself at the health club. Have your hair done. Haven't had my hair done since. I'm totally against that philosophy, that theory, that principle. There's nothing wrong with letting your hair grow and trimming it. Oh, what do I know? I don't know. It's just what I do. It's part of my routine. We're talking about routines. Part of my routine is coloring on the walls. But 400 East Randolph, bored out of my mind. Bored out of my mind. So bored that after too much shopping, after too much pampering, after too many days in the sauna by myself, in the whirlpool by myself, drinking champagne by myself, shopping by myself, because I didn't have any friends, and the friends that I had were like really pissed at me. I understand now what that thing jealousy means, but I get it. But man, I just wanted to share it with my friends, but then I had no more friends. So I went and I took a job as a waitress. And I enrolled in college. And I took 126, I was bored, credit hours worth of art classes. Because when I was a little girl, I wanted to color on the walls. And it was only this year that I finally figured out that I can just put that canvas on the wall because I've got a whole roll of canvas. So I've got this canvas, the one in the hallway that I'm working on. I got one in the back that I'm working on because I'm working on multiple canvases because, I don't like to work on the same one because somebody labeled me and said I had the ADHD, probably, and the neurodivergence, oh, definitely, and the brain trauma, yip-a-roo. I mean, you fall off the side of a building and land on your head. I'm pretty sure there's some brain trauma that happened there. And then there were the car accidents, and there were the beatings from the men. Yeah, no, definitely. But look, the brain only believes what we tell it in my belief system, in my practice, right? So I tell my brain, and it believes me, and I tell it good, happy things, and they follow, and yeah. Okay, what's the other one? Community development design. All right, so I believe that I would like to see a mission-centered focus, people receiving profits through a community development design. Oh, I must be on that affordable housing kick again. Yeah, because when I came to the United States, to this day, I haven't achieved what they call this American dream thing. I call it the American lie, the American nightmare, the American contract to servitude. Don't get mad at me, okay? Don't. It is. It's when we serve people. But you know what? I've decided that servitude isn't a bad thing. What? Yeah, I did that brain flip thing where I changed my mind and I changed my perspective and I'm coping. It really depends that you're coming from a mission-centered point of view. Like, you really care about what you're doing. All right, so coffee. Oh, you saw me drink that coffee, right? Pardon me. No, I'm not editing this. But I do yap a lot. All right, so coffee, water, Vega. Vega, oh yeah, I was going to tell you what's in the Vega. The Vega's got the yogurt, the orange juice. I was telling you why, but if I have other juices, then I use them. Cranberry, pineapple, because I like to use that for de-inflammation, yeah. Pineapple juice, cranberry juice to clean those kidneys of mine, yeah. Cherry juice to restore my mood balance, yeah, yeah. And then Vega, which is a powder product. It is a phytonutrient. You can find it online, VEGA. I worked for the company many years ago for like a minute, and I fell in love with them. They didn't fall in love with me, but I fell in love with them. I don't work for them anymore. I'd like to. That'd be pretty cool. I like the chocolate products that were pre-made. They were ready in vanilla. I like that. But I'm fond of the berry because that's what I put in with my juices. Then I put some honey, a shit ton of honey. I love my honey. I go around, like I squeeze the bottle, and I go 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. That's how I do that. And then the honey. And then I look at my list in my head and I write it down on paper so I don't forget anything. I write things on my calendar 1, calendar 2, whiteboard 1, whiteboard 2, desk 1, desk 2, whiteboard out there too. Plenty of journaling notebooks. And so yeah, these are parts of my routine. And then I do what the other people do. Work, servitude, or joy, whatever it may be. I don't talk about my work because of a couple of reasons. One, I don't think employers appreciate it when you talk about their company while you're still in their employment. I've got no problem talking about them while I'm not in their employment, but nobody really comes to mind that, I am celebrating or having a beef about at this moment, right? So it's not the time. We're talking about I mean, because we can talk about jobs, but that's a whole series that I'm putting out. Working in America and the American dream, nightmare, lie, whatever you want to call it. Call it what you want, right? I call it what I do depending on time of day, moment, mood. It doesn't really matter. All right, so water, coffee, Vega. What sparked this conversation? Oh, I heard somebody talking about keto diets. And then I have no idea what a keto diet is, but I throw whatever my body desires into my body. Typically, it is eggs. Yeah, a lot of eggs. Any old way that I want them. Omelet, hard boiled, sunny side up, even over easy. I'm not too fond of the over easy, so I do that. Someone's making noise out there. Who are they? Oh, we got to, hey, that's my mouth. Sorry about that. The lawn care people are here. And they're being loud, so I'm going to have to let you go, so I apologize. Hamburgers, love hamburgers. Liver, love liver. I love liver. In fact, I'll eat just about anything. But these are the things I eat now. Hamburgers, definitely hamburgers. Chicken, yeah. So my protein is. And then bread, oh my God, I'm a nut about bread. I'm a connoisseur of bread. I lived next to a bakery in Germany as a kid. Grandma used to put money in my pocket and send me down to get the fresh bread. So I have a few favorite bakeries here in the city of Chicago. I prefer Italian and French. I find that I have to be in a mood for Polish and Russian because it's a heavier bread. Where the Italian and the French tend to be lighter. The French is the lightest, and the Italian has that fabulous crust and that wonderful flavor. Mwah. All right, lawn care people, I gotta go. I love you. So my routine, it adapts to whatever might be going on. Gotta be flexible. Mwah. Love you, darling. Thanks for coming to see me. I was just noticing, we're feeling good. And I think that's because we're letting go of all of that baggage. If you've been paying attention, I've been letting go of so much baggage. Wow. I can only say it feels great. Try it if you like. Have a great day. Bye for now.